Have you ever set your alarm for 5 a.m., dreaming of a new start, only to hit snooze and wake up hours later feeling guilty? Maybe you've read about successful people waking up early, but every time you try, you end up right back in bed. You tell yourself, I'm just not a morning person, I need my sleep. But what if I told you that the first hour of your day could change everything? What if one man's life story proved that the power to transform your future is hidden in the quiet hours before dawn? Today you'll hear how waking up at 5 a.m. didn't just change his mornings, it changed his destiny forever. And trust me, this story could be the wake-up call you need. This is Jason, a 28-year-old aspiring artist living in a small, cramped apartment in the heart of the city. His days were a blur of odd jobs, working at a coffee shop by day, sketching in his spare time by night. He had big dreams, but his reality was far from them. Every morning he woke up late, feeling exhausted from the late-night hustle. His apartment was barely furnished, just a small desk, a couch, and an art easel shoved into the corner. Money was tight. Friends and family would ask, Jason, when are you going to make it? But he didn't have an answer. It felt like the harder he worked, the further away his dreams seemed. Every day Jason felt trapped in a cycle. He spent his days behind the counter, serving coffee, daydreaming about his artwork. But when the day ended, he would return home, too tired to create. He had tried waking up early before. He set alarms, planned his mornings, but after a few days the snooze button won. Deep down, Jason believed he just wasn't a morning person. He told himself that artists worked at night, under the moonlight, not at dawn. But something inside him knew, this routine was holding him back. He needed something more. A spark, a change. And that's when it happened. One evening Jason's phone buzzed. It was a message from his old mentor, Mark, a successful local artist who had once guided him through his early work. Mark had heard that Jason was struggling and invited him for coffee the next day. I have something important to share with you, Mark wrote. The next morning, Jason arrived at the cafe, bleary-eyed but hopeful. Mark looked at him, studying his tired face for a moment before speaking. Jason, you've been working hard, but let me tell you something. Your biggest mistake isn't lack of talent or opportunities. It's your schedule. You need to start your day differently if you want to make it. The first hour of your day is where the magic happens. I know it sounds simple, but it's life-changing. If you're serious about making it as an artist, you have to wake up at 5 a.m. Trust me. Jason was skeptical. Waking up at 5 a.m.? Was it really that simple? But deep down he knew Mark was right. He had nothing to lose. That night, Jason made a decision. His alarm would go off at 5 a.m. tomorrow. No excuses. No more hitting snooze. The first morning was brutal. The alarm blared at 5 a.m. Jason groggily reached out and hit snooze, then immediately regretted it. He tried again, forcing himself out of bed at 5:30 a.m. His body was exhausted. But Jason had made a promise. He sat at his desk, staring at his blank canvas. For the first time, he wasn't rushing out the door. He had time. He wasn't tired from staying up late. So he started to sketch. Slowly the ideas flowed. This wasn't just about painting, it was about reclaiming control of his day. The first few days were difficult. His body fought against the change. But something began to shift. Every morning, Jason found himself becoming more focused. By the end of the first week, he was completing a new sketch every day. He started learning new techniques online, watching art tutorials in those quiet early hours. And with every passing day, he felt stronger, more determined. As the weeks went by, Jason's mornings became sacred. He didn't just wake up early, he took control of his mornings. From 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. he was building his future. He finished his first large painting, something he had been putting off for months. The time he once wasted snoozing now became his creative fuel. He felt more confident than ever before, and his artwork began to improve dramatically. By the end of the second month, Jason was selling his work. He had connected with other artists and his social media presence was growing. People were noticing the change in him. Jason, you look different, they'd say. You're finally making it. But the biggest change wasn't the sales. It was the way Jason saw himself. The 5 a.m. habit had transformed him from a tired, frustrated artist into someone who was living his dream. One evening, as Jason was finishing his work for the day, he received a call from a local gallery. They wanted to feature his art in an upcoming exhibition. His heart raced. This was the moment he had dreamed of. The exhibition was a success. People loved his work. The gallery offered him a contract to display his paintings permanently. Jason had made it. But it wasn't luck. It was the discipline of waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. And now, he was living proof that the power of the morning is real. Jason's story proves something powerful. It's not about waiting for the right moment. It's not about working harder. It's about using the time when everyone else is asleep to build the life you want. From 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., you have the power to change your destiny. Your mind is clear, your willpower is strong, and you're not distracted by the noise of the day. Now it's your turn. Jason didn't become a successful artist by accident. He woke up early, took action, and built his future. Here's your challenge. Starting tomorrow, set your alarm for 5 a.m. Not 5:15, not 5:30, exactly 5 o'clock. Put your phone across the room so you have to stand up to turn it off. Decide what you'll build in the first hour, whether it's learning a new skill, building a business, or simply improving yourself. Protect your 9 p.m. bedtime. Sleep is not the enemy, wasted evenings are. I promise you, if you stick to this for 90 days, your life will change. Maybe you won't be an artist like Jason, but you will become someone different. Someone more disciplined. Someone who can achieve anything. If you're ready to take control of your future, hit that like button as your commitment. Comment below. What will you build with your first hour tomorrow? Let's hold each other accountable. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that can change your life. Remember, success is not a destination, it's a daily practice. And that practice begins tomorrow at 5 a.m. Will you be awake?